몰랐어. 다더니 대랑 갔었더니 오빠 더니 야미 더니 너쇼고면 갈라강 섬도 더디인디 참말라 더니 고모델라간 삼르지긴
Tonight we have many Tibetans in the audience and Chinese people and some Westerners too. First, I'd like to begin by saying good evening to everybody here.
Teni terang atso teni mamambo nyamden zomni teni changmala teni atso teni chu tone changmala teni kabdapshi kin teni shongwala teni ngone tangne ga teni sem pe me ba teni gabo shongson.
And I'm extremely happy to have this chance to engage in conversation with everyone on the topic of the Dharma.
Teni tambi chuze andana teni ngacho roa miru teni shertang changma ga teni ta teni longshot teni zu teni je te na ngacho teni poba yen nanja teni ya yen nanja nashoko me yen nanja teni mosdang si yen na teni ngacho tambi chu toni shenna tambi chu teni nyambi kapsa teni chigto yewa ji yo mare.
When we're listening to the Dharma, in terms of the Dharma, then there are no distinctions between whatever ethnicity we are, whether that be Tibetan or Chinese or Western or whatever.
Tani sarji jomdende ge chuzeande tani shirtang ge roa simchin tamchi bola tani ta pantoya ta tindi re ma to pa ta tinangla yang ta ju murga yewan jata yakub ge yewan jata tani ju ngacho ti pakpa karo ta no ho yewan jata tindi ge yewa mambo yo mare.
So when we're talking about the Buddha Dharma, it's really about benefit to all sentient beings, benefit to all people. There's no distinction drawn on the basis of a person's ethnic background or country or the color of their skin.
Tani ngacho terangyang dana tani ta mo changma ngacho nyamden zomni tani yayin nanda boyin nanda nshokoma yin nanda changma nyamden zomni tani ngacho tani ta kabdashya ti tani chude teni da ngacho chama la teni da sizge teni nyanda nyan choya sizge nyamselin na nyamselin choya teni mo sizge nyamselin na sosorang ga semla teni pantongken da teni zim bi gimsin jire.
So today we've all gathered here to listen to the Dharma. In this situation, anyone who wants to listen is entitled to do so. Anyone who wants to implement the practices, apply the practices is entitled to do so. It's a situation of complete equality.
Teni terang acho go teni chat go teni khapshang da kang rezena ta tapali garwaz ya tere yana tapali ndebaz ya teni zre.
So the topic of this evening's teaching is transcending faith or going beyond faith.
Teni tapali ndebaz ki tang acho kang riz la je yo rezena teni ngacho nangba ga teni chuto teni tapa kyangba ga teni thone teni rogoya teni marezi kachares.
So what we're really talking about tonight in this talk is about going beyond just having a faith-based approach to our Buddhist practice.
Ina ngacho chudbna teni tapa go marezi ya teni tonda mares.
Of course, we're not saying that in order to be Buddhists, we don't need faith. We're not saying that faith is not needed. Indeed, to practice the Dharma, of course, we need faith.
Tani soso tani koa yakpo loyong ji yongken teni zi yembala teni zegore.
What we mean when we say that we can't, that we shouldn't practice just by faith alone is that in addition to faith, we need to have a mind that sets to inquiring the Dharma, investigating it, and on this basis obtaining a proper understanding.
Tani chuzeya tani tani go tani ta susu samlo tangna tani gimchen go toni tani samlo tang chokba tani zi yin charti Tani nga zo zambalang ka sharshoko mayin nanja, nashoko mayin nanja, musidang sizi na tani ta korang ka samlo tong shinkan ka tani yin tsarti, tani o tanda yang tabare samba ka tani kuwa ta tani susu sizikin na tani len tibgare.
The Dharma is something that anyone, anywhere, whether they're from the West or from Asia, can all understand through their own rational reasoning faculties. They all have the capacity to think and contemplate on the Dharma and arrive at an understanding of its meaning.
Tani tapa kyangbazi ka tohni tani tanro gonasi, ta nga so yin tamanda, ta tani yin gare, yichi gore, tapa shi gore, zikite mahtokpa, jamba tapa shi govi gimsun shaki mena, tani karsang terang ka titsundala tani pe kakbores, tapa ki gonayang kakbores, chula lup gonayang kakbores.
So even though we might talk about the necessity of belief or faith, without knowing the reasons for, in fact, why we should have this faith, then in the current day and age, not having a reason-based approach makes arousing this faith quite difficult.
Tani nangba ka tani chundela tani ta kanri rezina tani tokba mambo kina tetsu mambo yona tani jindi tetsu mambo yona teli denraz ka yakbo yore sone tani songo yore.
In fact, the Buddha viewed doubts and questions as a very positive thing.
Nga so tani tapashi gore tani tokba yona ndika mare tani tetsum yona ndika mare tani songo mare tetsum chindanti gandhi tetsum mambo yona tenji ga tani yakbo yore sone namba ga tani songo re.
The Buddha never said that we have to have faith. Questions and doubts are not permitted. Quite the reverse. The Buddha was emphatic that doubts and questions, regardless of what they may be, are all to be welcomed.
Tani nga zon zambalang ka chu kang tang kang yin na shirtang tsangma la mang ta tsangma la chu zini tini ka mang zi tini ta taka yore zi tsangma la sharshok la yang chu zega yore nafshok ka chu lugi na chu lugi zi pi mang ti tsangma la jikba re.
In terms of the term religion, this is a word that's used to describe religious traditions in both the East and West. Religion is a word or a term that's used across the board.
Te yinna yang nga zo donga toni tini taga dan zambalang ka sharshok ka chu ta nafshok ka chu la tini jikba yang yore, masjik sa yang yore, nangdong ka toni tini njawa yang yore, manjawa yang yore.
But in actual fact, in terms of the content of religious traditions in the East and West, there are both similarities and indeed differences.
Tendri yenti tini ta nangba ka tini chuti tini taga ta kochi ni zhanda manjawa ti chik kandere zina tini tokpa mangbo yo na tini yakbo yo re zini tini zingri pena tini sanje ka tini songpa yin nanja tini zhamba ka tini songpa yin nanja soso la ti ayin mayin samje ka tini tokpa mangbo yo na yakbo yo re tini songres.
So one of the distinguishing features of Buddhism vis-a-vis other religious traditions is that doubts and questions are considered in a very beneficial and positive light, whether they're directed against the sayings of the Buddha himself or against things that, or in respect of things that other people have said.
Yinayang tini tokpa te tangbo tokpa yogo gore, tini sasorang ka samlo tang shapa jabni tini jini, ti tokpa te par tini sarto gore, tokpa te par tini mebashi to gore.
Of course, we need to have doubts or questions in the future, but the aim is through our own process of contemplation and investigation to resolve these doubts. So our ultimate aim is the resolution of doubts.
Tani karti tokpa te par mebashi matana, tani ta tokpa yonayang yakbo yo mares.
Of course, if we're not able to resolve our doubts, then the existence of our doubts, the ongoing existence of our doubts, is not a good thing.
Perna tokpa chik tini saranga semka nala tokpa zik kini, tani tokpa te par tani chud matavna, tokpa te mebashi matavna, tani shawa kandang kanya na, tani nga tsu nyesek chik te la tokpa takta shina ta, tani shina enju, munju, ayin, mayin, samne tani ndundu ki maa tokpa, tani shawa kang le guna le thabka maris.
If we have enduring doubts in our minds, doubts that we're not able to resolve, then it is a burden on our mind no matter whatever we do. If we are essentially acting constantly asking ourselves, wondering whether what we're doing is the right thing to be doing.
대인 살티 되니 가서 되니 다 똑바자와니 고 말에 되니 가서 다바식보 저거리 되니 다바식고를 막 똑바 유년 그 말이 대충 유년 그 말이지나 대형 말이지.
So we are certainly not saying that doubts are not permitted, not saying that doubts are not okay and that we just need to proceed with faith alone.
되니 영 똑바 요거를 녀석식 보텔라 똑바 딱딱한 돈이 되니 내고래 태숨 딱딱고래 똑바 딱딱한 돈이 내고래지나 대형 판독요 말이지.
But we're not saying at the same time that one needs to live completely on doubt and questions alone. This would be the other extreme.
더나 간티 고거래지나 당부 가서 강당 강라영나 똑바 요나 약보래 똑바 고래스.
So what we are saying is that at the outset, in the very beginning, having doubts is a good thing.
되니 똑바텔라 삼로 만보 땅네 되니 똑바테 팔 메바시 탑소나 되니 약보ren도 그래스.
And that after having these doubts, by contemplating on them and thinking about them, eliminating them is what we really want to strive to do.
되니 때단 낭바가 되니 고랑 쪽 따바레스.
And this is the Buddhist view.
되니 가서 너쇼고 되니 르그네가 나라 되니 양 샬르문다와 닌도스.
In terms of the Western tradition, there are two views on this.
되니 강레제나 되니 양 가시나 되니 다 똑바요는 그 말이지니 되니 샹크양 요레스.
There are some people who would say that doubts and questions in relation to religion are not permissible.
양 되니 가시는 되니 다 똑바 나와제 화이론제 똑바 나와제 되니 다 인담만다 똑바 딱딱 고르지니 되니 샹크양 요레스.
And then there is another school of thought, say skeptics, who view doubts and constant questioning as the way that people should go.
리데다 티톨랑아서 되니 고아 렌니 당보 똑바 요 되니 똑바 젯니 똑바 메바 셈탁천니 어단데 약보레 삼죠 소소한 거 이친도와 덴디즈요 고레 마똑바 데메나 되니 가서 되니 똑바 딱딱 고레지나 데 짐슨 문도지 똑바 자와니 유년 그 말이지나 데 짐슨 요 말이스.
But the Buddhist approach is not either of these two extremes. It's not saying that doubts are not allowed, and at the same time it's not saying that we should have doubts only. It's about having doubts in the beginning, resolving them through our own investigation, and then on having resolved these doubts, generating a sincere belief and faith as a result.
되니 산지 샥자타파 되니 제아 톰바 산지 샥자타파 산지 좀든데데 코랑 오늘 전에 코랑 가사가 뭐도 강레제나 되니 코랑랑라 타바신킨 레라우즈 그 산지 송바레 따티 인지리 삼니 되니 그 타바시 작사도 산지 특기상오마테 코랑 가상오마테 데 마레즈.
So the kind of the Buddha in fact does not prefer a person who has an easy or ready faith.
원한 산지 코랑 가사 음용오마데 강레제나 산지가 송이나 데라 똑바시 삼로만보 땅니 데닝문이 땅니 닐글라 데니 따가다 이친킨 그 모텔라 산지 가그레스.
So what the kind of person or practitioner that the Buddha in fact does value higher than that is the person who takes what the Buddha has said and really investigates it, examines it, critically appraises what the Buddha has said.
데니 디 짐슨테 산지 좀든데 그때니 도가나라 사로 송요레.
And the reason for this the Buddha clearly stated in the sutras.
데님 도 데라 가리제 그러지나 데니 가우 마르든직 빔도 제니 데님 팍데 건가오 데님 마르든직 바빠임나 심진남 데니 파마가 데 머신이 지마데니 키와시마 마르든직나 컨디션인 지거레 손에 데니 로지샤사가 도즈요레 데라 가우 마르직금 도즈요레 디낭라 데니 송요레.
And the sutra in which the Buddha spoke on this is called Ananda's Instructions on Entering into the Womb Sutra.
데니 디낭라 가리 송득제나 데니 산집 좀든데 그때니 건가오라 데니 teni kajan teni songdugse ganga oze teni kyorang ge ta nga kyorang ge teni tomba yimba tang teni nga kyorang ge teni ta girgin yimba tang teni nga kyorang ge nyesa yimba tang teni zi jimsen shini teni kyo ngarang la yin machi ya songde teni jimsen de shini kyo ngarang la yichina yakbo yo mare songde teni songdugse.
And what the Buddha said to Ananda in this sutra was that you should not believe what I say, or you should not believe in me just on the basis that I am your teacher, I am your guru, or for the reason that I am your relative.
Tana kanti gogorezina teni kyorang rang teni nge shapi kaja tela kyorang rang teni samlo thone teni takshit ji kyorang rang teni samlo thong takshit ji da teni kyorang yichi yong gore ma to ba nge shapare teni yang tak ba injere samne teni kyu machi sone teni song yores.
You should instead generate your belief based on your own investigation and examination of the things I've said, not solely on the basis of the fact that I am the one who said it.
Teni kaja ti nani ta kari ze yore zena teni sangji chumden de teni songna ta pena sangji ge loma namla teni nga kyorang cho teni to girgen reze ta ti indi teni kyorang cho ngala yechi go reze ni teni song yo mares.
So what the Buddha was saying is to his students, you shouldn't just believe in what I say or believe in me on the basis that I am your teacher.
Teni nga kyorang cho teni tombare na teni kyorang cho ngala teni yechi go rea nge zena te kyorang cho yechi go reze ni teni tsawani song yo mares.
Nor was he saying, you should believe in me just because I am your guru.
Teni sangji ge sona ngarang ge shapa tela jimsun dukta munduk teni kyorang rang ge kale chi teni samlo thongda teni kyorang ge teni hako yong gore teni kyorang yichina yak boyo re sone teni song yo res.
What he was saying is that you, my students, need to carefully investigate what I've said and see whether it corresponds with reason. And if you arrive at an understanding that it does, then you can generate your belief in me on this basis.
Teni yendi teni ngarang so teni nangba ge teni ta lerka leluk te teni ta tsar ge teni ta lerka leluk ta nika teni lelu chikban ra pore tsar ge thone yenna korang ge jimchen yota meta teni saru tagne teni jimchen yona teni yechi jore ma to ba jimchen mena oda injere samne teni tapache ge mare tsar ge yang te re teni nga chon nangba yang te dang chikbare ndus.
So we can see from this that Buddhism operates in a way that is in accordance with the scientific method too. Science similarly works according to whether or not something has been reasonably proved, whether there is a reason or not.
Teni tendi yendi terang ngacho teni tapali garwa ze goya te jimsen tere tapali ndepa tapali garwa ze gui jimsen tere ma to pa tapa go mare te tondak mare.
So the reason today that we're talking about going beyond faith or transcending faith is precisely this. We're not, it should be clear, saying that faith or belief is not needed.
Teni tapa shirtang go reta ina tapa zirate te ngundu kanjo go rezina takshit ti ngundun go res tapa ngundu takshit tin go res.
So of course we need faith, but what we're saying is that prior to faith we need to engage in investigation and examination.
Shirtang tapa zena shirtang karela zego zena tapa zena yichi te la zego yorezi shirtang tapa la mambo shati yore ta zu ti tapa zena yichi la tini tapa zego yorezi.
We often talk about faith, use the word faith, but really what faith is referring to, the core of this idea is belief.
Teni yechi guna teni ngaso kari yechi go jimsen kang go ni nga yechi go ore zena o ta sanji go songware te yechi go ore on the chu na la songware te yechi go ore teni sha teni mareze.
And if we're going to talk about why we should believe in something, we're certainly not saying just because it's something the Buddha said or that's what the religious tradition said. We're not suggesting that this is a compelling reason for the arousing of faith.
Teni tendi insarti teni namba sanji wa teni chula lojong shingang ga musginna teni pena tharik pa ga bo shin jimsen ga goni tela jimsen dota mundu suso go samlo mambo tang Teni soso mashiwate sola tokba mambo lang, zhiwa mambo shini, teni kale rang teni tate rendu, jimtsundu samni teni rang yichinro ore, ti yichipatela teni tapazegres.
So as a student of Buddhism, we need to proceed as a scientist would in their endeavors, and that is by doing a lot of investigation, doing a lot of inquiry, and judging for ourselves whether or not what is being said conforms with reason. And if we find that it does, then the belief we have in this can be referred to as faith.
Teni tinti teni tapatela teni namba la ti tapatela kareze ozena tela gimsun shipi tapa zeni teni zego yore teni ti tapata pe yakboya res.
And this kind of faith that we generate through this process can be referred to as a faith generated through understanding, or an understanding-based faith. And this is a very positive kind of faith to have.
Teni tenji tapata teni ngacho samala go res teni tapata yoga res.
And this kind of understanding-based faith is the kind of faith that we all need.
Teni tenji tapatela teni te shirb tang dambi tapazena shirk tang dambi tapazena teni gimsun yopi tapazena chikbare o tenji nilu yongkhang tapaz resite.
So this kind of faith, an understanding-based faith, is a faith that possesses reason. It's a faith that is possessed of wisdom.
Teni tenji tapatang ngacho masosola teni te go res.
And it's this kind of faith that all of us need to cultivate.
Tenji tapata gowi gimsun kang resina teni ta ngacho garte tapata mesona teni ngacho mchama gate sem kanala tongba ra wotini ta chayore tensa ta tensa ra boyo mares tapata sem kanala mena teni ngacho la tensa chikchi yo mares.
And the reason that we need to have this kind of faith is because if for some reason we lose our faith, then we are literally without any support at all. We are in a state of complete emptiness.
Tini tirap jojit pada tirap jirga pagan nangla tini nafshok pagan nangla tini kaja chiksha nyungare zin nafshok orgne gnani kaja chiksha bare kaja kangsha bare zina tini ngacho pamjur te yarge chimbo soni tini mutchama tini shikbo re sona. During
the 18th and 19th centuries, a view emerged in the West which held that as society materially progresses and flourishes, we will no longer need religion. And this viewpoint, finding its origin in the West, gradually spread to other places around the world. So as a result, there are many people now around the whole world, both in the East and the West, who embrace this idea or hold this idea that as the economy or as material life flourishes, we no longer need religion. This is written in many books. It's a pervasive view.
Teni tatanga su tirub nishi tsachik paga nangla mu tsangma la teni tirub jirga pada jorgi pala tana teni nga tso pamjurgo toni halipa teni yargi song tsar ritana. Teni na ta terang nga tso tsangma la teni chu murgo zini tsangma ga semga nangla chu murgun kan teni zireo go res kaja te denpa yinna.
If this viewpoint were in fact true, then today, as we are in the 21st century with such a materially developed world, we would no longer be needing religion at all.
Rite terang ngacho otini sem kadala chu murgowa matsat ta terang ngacho la devi kyang chu gowa tinis gat nesir tinis reores.
But in fact, the situation we are in is not only one of still needing religion, but in fact needing it even more than we ever have.
Te cherezina teni ngacho tarta teni da ngacho teni shusoko tokla teni garwan rada mara mambo yores.
The reason being that actually in our society these days there are even more problems and conflicts than there ever were.
Tani mudang magwarla tani ta yang ngacho tani ta panchang chikla tani ta shamdang nyar jishi banjawo ta so mepa reni tani yang garwa ta tani mangbo yong yore.
And in general, kindness and compassion between people is on the decline, and there are a lot of conflicts between people.
Tani manam ko tani sem ko nala tani deshkit ko chora te mepa reni te chama sem margir market patang mavdiwa tani mangbo so tani re ko yore.
And there are many people who have lost all sense of happiness and exist in a quite unhappy state of mind.
Tani lo trikchil densha tang tani ya nyugya ga tani kongror ta tani ngacho manam ga tani sem ke pa ga nani so ta kan yong ga tu zena zaje me pata kongi me pata pamjur me pa ga thone yong ga yores.
In years gone by, say half a century or a century ago, the main reason for people's suffering or mental suffering was a lack of material necessities like food and clothing, etc.
Tani tarta ngacho tani ta sem ga thone ta ngacho tani dungor mambo zo yong go ki ta tani zaje me kan ta kongi me kan ya tarta zambalang ga thola mambo yore ta yinna yang mang chiwa ti tani za ngacho dungor ta tani zaje me ba ta kongi me pa ta pamjur me pi jimsin ki maris.
Even though there are still a lot of people in the world today who experience livelihood, great challenges in terms of their livelihood, the vast majority of suffering is not derived from a lack of food to eat or water to drink or clothes to wear.
Tani yang nafshok ko tani sanyirig pa tani katak jan namgi yang kaja chikshan yore ti kaja ta pe jimsin yore.
A well-known philosopher made a very compelling comment on this.
Ti jimsin ti kaja ti tini sarje ga tini somba tani ka chigre nindus.
And this comment was essentially the same in meaning as the words of the Buddha.
Tani ti kaja ti nala karisha yore zina tini ngacho musudang siyan na yang tani susu rang tini dopa zik tini ta rang semla tini ta ngubo kang zik tini rang pe na tini ta jichimbo rendo na da pon chimbo wangcha yoba tini rendo na da yana ka tak chan rendo na da tini ti tondang la sem ga nala tini dopa zik yo ne tini ti tond tini sun ne tini ta nyamak chik la garti nguni kyorang shikbo yinna yana wangcha yoba yinna yana tini ka tak chan yinna tini re sonasi.
And this comment was in essence about if an individual pursues the desires in one's mind single-mindedly, whether that be for riches or power and privilege.
Tani karti nyama chigla tani kyorang do pata nguni tani tani ndrip sona tani ta kyo lansang tani ta pena ngamayina katak de yona yakpo kipo re samne kyorang katak yona kipo yan sare sam ngamayina tani ta shikbo re sona shikbo chak sona kipo yan sare sam tani sam de re ta nguni tani nyama chigla tani shikbo chak katak yoba chak sona tani ta lansang tani ta tela nyangbo munduk samba jaga wuliao o lamsang tini ta nyambo me pa tini ta market pa tini changdo ores kyorang do pa tan dripti tini lamsang market pa changdo ores ni tini shayores.
So if in fact we single-mindedly pursue these things, have our minds or believe in our minds that by fulfilling these desires, whether it be for riches or status or whatever, then in the event that one day these desires, these dreams of ours come true, as soon as we fulfill our desires, they will immediately become extremely meaningless for us.
Tani ta ngazo perna soso tini dopa tini tini rang semla yopi kavse tini dopa te endrep ti tondagla tambo kavle jab ne tini kavle jab go re ti nerkamna tani ta koranga tini ta dopa tan drip sona korang kebo yongore samne tini sam go re yenayang dopa tan drip ni tini re sondi tini lamsang o tini ta kebo mayongwa tini ta nga ngune ngama samba ta kebo ere samna te mayim ba ta lamsang tini konro ores.
So while at the point that one is still striving towards that goal, striving to fulfill that desire, one thinks to oneself that upon achieving it, one will definitely feel happy. At the moment one does actually end up fulfilling that desire or getting what one wants, then immediately the feeling of happiness that one would expect to feel, in fact one does not feel. It's lost and one feels quite meaningless and unhappy.
Tate pe jana kandi zena pe na nga cho tangbo tini nga cho changbo imbi ne kabna kandi sam kore zena ta nyama chigla tini ngarang la gormo gaji gona yang gaji yoje tendi zi chak sona tani ta nga deke pusum chokbari ore nga peke bozi yengere nga mare pa chik yoje mare samne tendi sam kore nga cho ti gormo to maybe kapsa tendi sam kore.
It's like when we're in a state of poverty, when we're poor, we think, oh, if there were one day when I had as much money as I needed, when I was really rich, then I'd be so happy.
Tanita nyama chigla ngoni tane korang la tani gormo gaji gona yang gaji yo pa tendi ga tani shupo chimbo zu chaksona tani ti kapsa tani korang ga ngama samba tar tani ta ngoni ta demo kepo resong ta mare pa chik me manyem pa chik me ta pensum choksong atin dis yeng origina zawani yeng mare korang ga samba ta yeng mare ti kapsa.
However, on that day that one might achieve this state of riches, having all that one could dream of, then the happiness that one originally thought one would feel at this time doesn't arrive at all.
Teni ti monta tini koranga tini garirezi koranga ta nga gormo mambozo na nga tini keporendo ore nga deke pansum sobarendo ore sambi jimsen the kangrezina ti kapsa tini koranga tini gormo yobati chindizi ha ko mareze gormo yo nyung manduze korang tangbore te na gormo kazi gona kazi yobati ndiz ko thola ko mutsi gangbola tindi ga shigbo chak nyong mare manyona ta korang ke bo injire sambare ma to ba te ko chaji yo mare ti jimsin jires.
And the reason that in fact a person would have this belief that one would feel happy upon fulfilling one's desires is precisely because until this point one hasn't experienced the state that one's striving for. So if one's poor, for example, one hasn't known what it's ever like to be rich. So the expectation or the hope is in fact based on the fact that one has never experienced this state.
Teni nyama chigla teni ta gormo mambo to yo ne teni koram shipo chak sonti teni ko lamsang shine o ta gormo mambo yo na nge hale pa ke pos yengere teni ta mare pa chichi yo ke mare samda ta teni zi yang re mandu tarong mare pa ta manduk pa ta manyem pa mambo ndu tarong yo dumur mambo ndu samba te korang ka ha ko re.
Yet when one eventually does become rich, then one very soon discovers that in fact happiness continues, suffering continues, all kinds of problems endure, and that money is not the answer to it all.
Teni te ha kong kante ti jimsen te ha kong kante nga son roa mi lorji gu tola teni mogni yores mogni gu ta ha ko res.
In terms of human history, there are two kinds of people who have arrived at an understanding of this way.
Ni to serezena chikto tini lortong cha ni ta ngabja ko do shong sanji shakja ta ba re korang te ha ko yore korang ko sung na la te chama tini hale pa saroshi ni song ja yore.
Well, the first person, individual who understood this truth was the Buddha 2,500 years ago, who in his teachings very clearly taught about how this truth operates.
Teni ni pa te teni tarta nga so teni ta chabartan zamalanga nurshogla teni ta charik pa nam ji teni mambo la teni takshifshini ta gormo yo na shipo chakna demo chipo rendu ta mandu zeni takshifshi kaps teni ta gormo yo pa ta manamla dechi yung mandu zeni teni mambo charik pa so shiore ni pa te teres.
And the second type of person, particularly people in the West, and particularly, say, scientists who, through their own investigations as to whether, in fact, material flourishing and money brings happiness, discover, in fact, no, this is not the case. Despite our affluence and riches, in fact, we have not arrived at happiness.
Te rete yena nga tso teni ta nga tso chua kir gona teni te ngubu go mare gormo go mare te se mare se go re se karte mena gormo mena teni nga tso chua kir thab mare.
Of course, this is not saying that we don't need material things, that we don't need money. Of course we do. How could we live our lives if we didn't have it?
Ta onang nge kari se gre na gormo nga tso mena teni nga tso chua kir thab mare go rete yena yang nga tso teni mon namji teni deshkit demo ta kepo zeate gormo tata kanane yongre samni teni samna te norare se te se yore se.
So what I am saying is not that we don't need money. Of course we do need so in order to live our lives. What I am criticizing is the mistaken view that money is the source of our happiness.
Tani ta nga tso zajime konjime teni pamjor tang chwala kangri yopi nerkabna teni nga tso dungar mangchi shuti kangre zena teni phoa ma jakba ta teni lipo to ko dungar teres.
Of course, when we're in a state of hunger or thirst or living with inadequate clothing, etc., then the main cause of our suffering is based in these circumstances.
Tani ta nga tso pamjor yarje song teni chwala kangar me zaje konje kanga thola na kangar me pa teni kavs teni nga tso dungar te teni sem ko to ko dungar mambo teres.
However, after we've essentially satisfied these basic material needs, then the source of our suffering is basically to be found in our own minds.
Tani lo jada niga konror to tini nga so terang raon tini mamambo zala kacha te fianna tini mamambo tini ko along maris o kormo yona ta je longshu shigbo re sonata demo ke bo injire te ta demo ke bo mai baz kala yo to nduk manduk samni tini sam gres.
Of course, if 100 or 200 years ago I were to have said this to an audience like this, then nobody would have believed it. Everyone at that point in time would have thought that by reaching a certain stage of material enjoyment, then happiness would be sure to follow.
Ta terang aso tiram nish tsachik pa tini zla thonsar ti tini kajan de shadna tini mamambo z ka ote dembare samni tini tanglin shin rores.
However, now in the 21st century, saying something like this to an audience like we have here tonight, many people can in fact accept it for the truth it represents. And the reason that people can take on this truth, or there are two reasons that people can accept this truth.
Teni Jimson chikte kangrezena mamamboz korang une teni ta pamjur ko tone yarje sone pe pamjur shigbo chak sarwi jis teni korang ka teni pamjur to kola demo tang kepo mahang wa tang sem ko tola tarong yang dungmar mambo yo pate korang ka nyamnyong ko goni teni ha goni o ta pamjur yo na yang tarong nga chola jambaz go ndu ma to ba pamjur chibo ndu ko mandu tarong sem ko tola dungmar mambo ndu zene te korang cho nyamnyong ko nga cho zambalang ko yarje son sarwi yarkab namji nane teni mamamboz ko tambo ha go re teni tarta nga cho sharsho ko la yong ko teni mamambo te ha go ndu ko cho nyamnyong ko go yo re.
The first of these reasons is the fact that in affluent societies like ours, there are many people who have first-hand lived experience of the fact that even that once one has achieved a very a certain state of material wealth and enjoyment, that suffering is something that still endures. This is something that particularly people in the West, but also in other parts around the world, have really come to realize and experience for themselves in their own lives.
Teni Jimson nipati kangrezena korangsa ko tanglin shipi Jimson nipati kangrezena teni nafshokla teni charik pa nam ko myulo ngapchi thamba garangla teni jimjik mambo shini teni ta o bamjur te yarje sona teni ngaso mo teni gormo katsi zigona teni sim teni zikyo yong ndu ta mandu zene teni myulo ngapchi garangla teni ta jimjik shini teni mambo jimjik shi chari jis o ta gormo mambo yona ya teni mo sim kebo yong ko mandu zene ta ko cho charik go ne teni ta de hwang shi charwa res.
And the second reason that people can accept it is that after 50 years or a very long period of scientific research into whether in fact economic development or material development leads to happiness, it can be seen or it's been proved that in fact this isn't the case.
Tendi in sarti teni ta jemsen nipo te la teni nga so ta pamjo ya je son sarna ta chu go mare ka ke go mare ze kite teni nga so dembaz mayen ba tang kaja te la jemsen me pa teni nga so tirim ni shi ta chi ba na la chama ha go sarares.
So, on account of these two reasons, people in our 21st century can understand that the statement that when the society reaches a certain level of economic flourishing, it no longer needs religion, is in fact a very mistaken and erroneous viewpoint.
Teni mir namla gormu ka che yona te demo ke potenti yongwa yongjere samde kit teni nga so norwaz rendus.
It is very mistaken, the idea that happiness exists in proportion to our economic prosperity.
Ngama teni nyohong la yna teni to chig ngabjit ko lo ni zongte lo simchi thamba rang la teni khorang so mo gir ke teni yongbte teni dab nga zena ngalo wupe o yarji sondus.
For a period of 30 years from the 1950s in Japan, the individual income of Japanese people increased fivefold.
Yena koso mo nam ke teni to ta ti chowat on di pamjur teni yarji dabar nga yarji songre ta yena mo nam ke teni chowala tan jisong ta yaksong ta nga chimsong samji teni nawate chimbi nawate yar 종스 장 지치 소문도 다른 영적문도 다른 대고운도 ngan 딘당가문도 땡당가문도 삼바마토 단지송 당아 약보레송 삼지 심그토니 소손도파 캉조안다오티 자니 용문도.
However, despite this rapid and fivefold increase in prosperity, really no one in society felt satisfied and content as a result. In fact, the need for further acquisition, needing more of this, more of that, only continued to increase.
Tene ngacho mir ki lorji ge thola ngacho roa mir ge muir ge kindi lorji ge thola noncher mambo tini ta leka noncher ke leka mambo le nyongare.
In terms of human history, a great deal of mistakes have been made.
So lorji ge thola tana chokore zambalong ge tini kharshogla tini nabshogla yang noncher ke leka mambo le ne tani jini chama ota tin jigmand tindi shina ta demo tan ke boyong ge manduk sambate tini shine ta chama ge shi charwa tindi lorji mambo yore chama ha ko jire.
And whether or not it's history in the West or history in the East, there are many examples of humans reflecting on periods of mistaken action or erroneous thought and realizing, in fact, that is not a good way to behave or act, decide to rectify one's actions or abstain from those actions.
Chamagan teni ta ngacho teni dela yarje sona teni demo yongore teni ke boyongore samne tendi ge teni samlo gormo to yona demo yongje ta kipo dechet pasum sok ba yongere samba ti samlo teyang teni ngancho noncher ke teni ta samlo mangboz yovina ni chigres.
And among the various erroneous thoughts or mistaken thoughts in human history, the idea that with economic flourishing so comes happiness is in fact one of these mistaken ideas.
Teni tate ko chari jis teni ta nga so ta machine de la demo dang ke bo yong ya zu kan dis go re teni sam na teni ta nga so yang lam kha sarwa teni ta sam lo tang go re.
So after we've understood that this idea or this viewpoint is wrong, then what we need to do is search for a new path in order to in the direction of happiness. Of course, by saying new path, actually the path is a very old one.
Tani ta so sim ga thola yang tini tapa dang de so yang tini kala kang sam yo ne tini sim dang tini lipo nika la tini yakbo z tini ta ran chowa ni de sim gun chowa dang lipo gun chowa ni ten jamnyim go go ni ro the pi lam kha te tani lam kha nguma te lam kha yang tak ba te bares.
And this old path is one where our material needs and our spiritual needs are kept in balance and they proceed together in a state of harmony.
Tani te sarwari manduzi te sangye shakja ta ballo tongchani ta ngabya ko ni shat sarwa te res.
And this idea is not a new one, it's not a new path. In fact, it was the path advanced by the Buddha over 2,500 years ago.
Yinayang mambu tini tuna te sarwareze kangreze na taksar ko koso shiware tela mambu zala samna te sarwareze.
However, to a lot of people today, this idea, this notion is indeed a new one.
Tendi yendi tini ngarang cho chama tini ta nga khangba tini jigboyo na langkhor tini jigboyo na ngarkhang kana la gormo mamboyo na tani nga dekhi pasam sokbare ore sambi tini samlo matang rochis.
So please, everybody, don't fall victim to the idea that with a big house and a nice car and lots of money in the bank, you will be happy.
Tani nga cho tani to pena mushi tani to dekhi kanani ta pamjur tam dewa yongkhan tani dekhi to kangre zina charba nam ki takshin mambo shi ni tani jingre kangre zina nga cho dekhi kanani gacha chida yana gacha chonga te nga so pamjur landrewa yore ma to ba jamba ta pamjur landrewa chawane yo mare zenitini shayores.
Scientists say that the connection or the amount of happiness that we can derive from our material things or our economic lives is probably only 10 to 15% of our overall happiness.
Ta ona nga cho tini deshi kanani gyachap chu yana gyachap chonga tini nga cho pamjur landrewa yo na tini tele jampi tini to yana gyacha gubchu yana gyacha gyachi kyarnga to tani ganglandera yoresina ta pamjudera mare jambalandera yores.
So if 10 to 15, only 10 to 15% is linked to our material lives, then the remaining 80 to 85% is linked to things that are non-related to these.
Tani jamba to gangresina tani ta pamjur mayamba nga cho tani jikting zambalandi tola tani yana simda yana nguputa tani matoba jamba yo marezi tani nga cho ngupu landera yon kang dekit gyacha chita chongale mena tani jamba gyacha tani gupchegam yana gyacha gyachi charngat tani soso simdang dera yore tele jamba landera yotun yo marezi.
In terms of the possible sources of happiness we can have beyond material things, the only other option is happiness that we derive from our own minds. So for this reason, the remaining 80 to 85% of happiness is precisely that which we can generate from our own internal or spiritual state.
Teni lo nivya samgya kongla, teni zamalang nurshok teni tang khipa khashi gazena. Nga cho deshkit zikit tini ngupo go tone yong go re ma tok ba tini sem ke nanglin tini deshkit yong go te zena deshkit tsawani mepa zene deshkit ernin menye tawa deshkit mesa zene deshkit tsarware te tondra yo mare tini shayores.
200 or 300 years ago, it was said by thinkers that
lo nivya samgya kongla tini zambalang nushok tini khipa khashi gazena deshkit zikit nga cho tini ngupo longshok tone yongre ma to ba so sem ga nangla deshkit zikit sem ga nang yong gogre zena tini te mareze tini tsawa ni deshkit mesaz ga nangla ayotaware ma to tinangla deshkit yo mare tini zeyorez.
So the idea that was put forth was that the origin or the source of happiness was to be found in objects or things external to ourselves in the material world, and that our own minds were in no ways to be seen as the seat of happiness.
Jete tendi gtini samlot tini ta norwayem bata nga so sama ta kale jeko jesa jexer den ro yore samlot in norwares.
But of course, the fact that this idea or this viewpoint is mistaken is something that increasingly we come to understand all too well.
Teni nga cho terang tini jorjindi nangla karin dugzena teni tapalin de baze teni sargi teni chuto nga cho chowa nangla kandi gone teni ta nyamlim shi gore ezeni teni shayorin teni ti tholange tondak chin sha kyens.
Okay, so we're going to now come back to our topic of this evening, which is going beyond faith or transcending faith, and talking about how to implement Buddhist teachings in our everyday lives.
Tani nga tso gur goyachik yoreze, gur goyachik de kangreze na, tani nga tso la tani dumar mambu zi tani yongwi tani ta sem ka thola yinna da, lipo ka thola yinna da, kangartar tani dumar mambu zi tani yong dekin de, mang chewa ti tani kandam drewan dukze na tani nga tso ndopa sem ka nga tso ndopa de la yuwaan zi ke, ndopa de la tani drewan dukze.
So the one understanding that we all really need to have is that the source of our sufferings, most of our sufferings, whether physical or mental, is in our own desires.
Tani ndopa te soso tani ndopa te tani ta kangarta rang nga tso samlo tamba inna, tani tape na nga rang la tani langkhor yakboz tani langkhor mepi kapsu, tani nga so ta nga la langkhor zo yo na sam kare ma to ba ta nga langkhor jigbo ta, langkhor kongchembo ta, tani to sam kamare langkhor mepi kapsu tani nga la langkhor zo yo na sam bin ndopa te yoris.
It's like, for example, when we don't, in the situation of not possessing a car, when we don't have a car, thinking that if I did have a car, if only I had a car, I would be happy.
Tani tsama langkhor ko ni ro yo kapsu tani nga rang chibo la langkhor ko ya mena, tani sem kana la ma ke pa yung gare, tani nga rang la yang ta ngi chokbo cho dan jawa ga langkhor zo na nga kandi chibo yo sam ni tani ga sam lo yung gare.
And if everyone around us, all our friends, they have a car and we're the only one who doesn't, then we feel quite unhappy and really wonder what we can do about this.
Tani nguni tani nyama chigla tani nga rang ga chokbo cho dan janda ga tani langkhor zo nga rang la yo song na, tani nga sem ga tola tani demo chibo ren ro res.
And we think that, you know, the day that I get a car and I can be just like everyone around me, then in fact I will feel very happy.
Jete ti demo chibo zeate, chikshina tani lo she khazgla tani yung gore, chikshina dawa khashi la yung gore, chikshina azankhor chig ma to yo mares.
Of course, the feeling of satisfaction or happiness that we might achieve on getting a car and being like everybody else really only lasts a relatively short time, maybe half a year or a few months or perhaps even only a week.
Ta teni ti jine ta pena lo sheka dawasam yana zankhor chig jini kan re ro gore ezena o ta ngarang ga langkhor te ta jamba chama ga langkhor te janda inna chamyon jamnim ra boinna o teni ta ngarang la langkhor yore chama la yore samba chamma to ba o ta nga langkhor yona nga ngama ina ngarang la langkhor chama dan rawo tin ri yona nga kandi ki boz yona tin sam kare ta ta te yo mare je o ta nga langkhor yore samba tin ra ma to nga langkhor ndu ta nga ki bore sam ji dekhi ko chorwati dehnang da kitnang de sa ni yo mare je ti kapsa.
After a, given period of time, a few months or half a year or whatever, then we no longer have the feeling of happiness associated with having a car like all of those around us. It becomes just a normal part of everyday life, something that we take for granted, no longer a source of happiness.
Ta tini ti kapsa tini nga chu chokbo khashi zla tini ngarang rang langkhor tele yek tele kungchi tele zig khashi jingda ninda samda jinda tendis yoyona tani ngarang rang sem gana la marki pa chang gore.
And at this point, when a few people around us start to get cars that are in fact better than ours, more expensive than ours, more fancy looking than ours, then our unhappiness kicks in again and we do not feel happy.
Teni ti kapsa teni ta ngarang langkhor tani yoni ta ngake bore samba te mepa machat o ngarang langkhor te nge chokbo chole langkhor le teni digren ta nge langkhor teni digbo kor go re samne teni ta ti langkhor to khorang la tini sem tele kyang marke pa shin ro res.
And at that point in time, one finds oneself thinking, oh, all of these people around me are getting such nice cars and I've just got this normal car, it's inferior to everybody else's, and in this situation the car that was once the source of your striving and happiness now becomes the source of your suffering.
Tani ta kare sam gare zena ta nge yinda manda tini nge chokbo sogo tini langkor tin rawa zata yang na tele lakba nge nyogo te samni tani ta yang kable mambo javni titon la gormo mambo so kable mambo javni te she gare.
And at this point, one starts to think, well, what I need to do is get a car the same as everybody else, a nicer car, or even better still, one that's nicer than theirs. And in order to achieve this goal, one has to exert oneself, work really hard, and make a lot of effort.
Teni tenri yendi teni ngaso langkor la yang tenri re, khangba yang tenri re, teni ngaso lakba thola chitsud yang re, teni ngaso pesho tangya ga teni simchir yen na re, chircha yen na re, te yang re, teni kyamnang lan jok ya ga teni kyamche yen na re, tsama tenri re chikba re, rolik tis tsama chikba re.
And in fact, our psychology, the way it works in terms of this kind of process of desire and fulfillment is the same regardless of what we apply it to, whether it be our cars or our houses, the watches we wear on our wrist, the electrical appliances we have in our homes.
Tani ngaso tangrib ka rigni ze pat ze atela tini chun chimbo chiyo ba de kangre zena tangrib ka rigni ndi tani korang ka tabshi njata mandra mangbo la tini munam ji ndopa te yar chimbo gongni gongdam peri aga tabshi te che yores.
And one of the really big shortcomings of modern and contemporary culture is that people's desires are continually fueled in all kinds of ways.
Teni ngason zamlang ka sharshok lain na randare nafshok lain na randare ngason mota lamkhala teni kang di njimda kwangao njimda njada mandra mambo yarndu teni ngason lokke ga nangla yaran rosa ga lamkha tela yang mat sama lokke ga teni lokke gni karma shikanda mato gugo marta tela yang teni njimda mandra mambo yarta teni shini teni mun namla teni mu shigbu namjin soa de gandhi yin teni ti gind teni tongu yores.
These days, wherever we go, whether we're driving in our cars and we see billboards and advertisements everywhere, even taking a ride in an elevator, we see elevators on the walls. We're constantly exposed to images of affluent lifestyles. It's constantly put before us.
Teni tendishi yondi teni ngaso teni mo jobo so yena teni njemda te so ryong wi kapsa teni ta ngeyang tendi zinyogo ta ngayang tendi mushibo nam ko khamba tabs kana la dego ngeyang mushibo nam ji teni langkor tawa korgo samni teni soso ndo pa te yar deli jang yar teni kone kone peryong gres.
And so when people who are not affluent or don't have these things see these advertisements, then the desire in their minds to obtain these things, to acquire these things, only grows stronger and stronger in the belief that if they did have these things, they would feel happy.
Teni tendi in sorti teni ta ngaso ta tistakta pe nan churcha ng kholung kon korshine ta ngaso chig raksa ne kamna yang remandu ta nga tele jang yags go ndugse de raksarwi nerkamna dijang drumundo ta tele jang yabuz go ndugse ne tendi kholung kon korchini ndopa tendi ndores.
And we end up being enmeshed in an endless cycle of desire and acquisition, and after acquisition another desire, a constantly endlessly rotating cycle of desire and acquisition.
De mato ta nga chola o ta nga ndrikson ta nga yakboyo son ta nge tele basun she kemen ta nga rang longshu she ne ngarang langkor nand khamba nand ta ngarang gormo de yo bandela longshu she ne teni ngarang longshu she ne ta de yen tele le jamba nge le man samni tendi korkup se sharki yo orezina tsawani muschigla zambalo go muschigla tendi korkup teni yong yo mares.
And in this situation, virtually not even a single person in the world has the opportunity to just rest in contentment with what they already have and thinking that this is enough. I already have what I need and I don't need to exert myself beyond this.
Teni tarta terang ka nga chogon zambalang ka shartang nimnika ka shusok to kanda zerezena perna teni tan trcha nalan trcha chempu chikanala sonkor zena chilun o tendi mambo teni drigne teni ta chikor ne tendi yong yo andawo ta tendi zre orize tangsang teni zambalang teni zamlang da tendi zre ti nanin khorlo chik ta mandigni khorndigna teni khorlo jamba tamje boyang mongkor kamere chama teni khorni rogo ores.
And so whether it's the West or the East, it's as if everybody is entrapped in this constantly spinning wheel.
Teni tis zawade kangrezena perna tambo utinin kollo korngan ko sonkor chilun tambo de kangrezena teni tambo rawote kangrezena teni tambo rawote teni ngaso monam kan dopa teres.
And what is essentially powering this wheel, like a water wheel, the energy that is fueling it is in fact our own desire.
Deyan sondi teni ngaso teni ta monam ko teni chu soso ko teni chowa desche tang damba teni eyong ko rewa jabni teni baba mambo le shawa mambo le ore tati tabshite teni tarta ka tabshite la nori ore tabshite nori ore.
So this idea that by achieving these things, by fulfilling our desires, that we will obtain happiness, is this approach, this method, is in fact very mistaken.
Teni nga chon zambolang ka sacha mambo zigla korik teni torlang mambo temni chisangman thongya me patang teni namka ngombo teni thongya me patang teni nga cho khawuk teni wuk teni to changma teni me pati so thamji pu teni jingri ngamba te so gangne shongware zena te so thamji chi zawade teni da nga cho ndopan di shongware.
And so the destruction that we have wrought upon the natural environment and the pollution that we have created all have their root or source in our boundless desire.
Tendi yendi teni nga cho teni to ngone tangin chuwa de teni matsin de teni chu soso go chi demo tang kebo tendi yong eyong samna teni nga cho ndopa koni kondem phera te marize ndopa te la te chanchen che go res.
So in order to really work towards happiness, we shouldn't do so on the basis of ever-growing desires. We shouldn't be going along the path of fulfilling desire. In fact, what we really need to do is be able to keep in check our desires to some extent.
Jete te nga cho ndopa tsawani go marize ti kaja marize ndopa tsawani me pazu ti nga cho yong thap go marize.
Of course, again, this is not saying that we shouldn't have any desire at all. This is an impossible proposition.
Teni nga cho teni tartan ra poina nga cho chama teni shuso teni shurur teni longshut teni ngubo ndoso la nga cho halepa teni dangjok chembo dangjok yichi chi te chi chak yores.
Where we are at the moment is at a point where we have an excessive esteem and attach an excessive importance to external enjoyment and material objects.
Teni sozo teni ndopa te tsamar teni chanchen zuchena teni nga cho perna sonkor mambo chilun sonkor mambo khorko yoate teni te kale khoranda ore yongres.
So by keeping our desire in a little better check, by controlling our desires a little more, it's like slowing down this spinning wheel.
Pena nga chung churchan chungkhor zgina tini koram gyokpa shini tini mambong khorojagna tini churcha da changma tini jombore chabore yongres.
If the wheel in fact spins too quickly,
teni te chapo mayem ba teni te chamara jamu da ore gona teni ko kale khorna teni korang ga teni trochat kale mari yongres.
And if it goes too fast, then it starts to spin out of control. So by spinning it more slowly, we can bring it under better control.
Teni ten rapo shini teni nga chun dopa ta teni yargi teni compare teni tangjagna chanzen mashina teni nga cho teni shawale ka nyamachila le ka mambo le go yore teni nyachik tisochik na la le ka mambo drib go yore teni nga chun chowa nonshik teni chichi ro res.
If we don't keep our desires in check, if they continue to grow in an unbridled way, then the amount of work that we need to invest to be able to satisfy these desires only gets larger and larger, and we have to exert so much effort in fulfilling them.
Teni ta ti kapsa teni ta pernan chunkhor teni khor kim jogna chawa che wa jindu Teni ngazo lerka mambo lergo, teni taga semganala market ba mambo yung chowala nonshik chenbo yung ni teni ngazo tsama sem market ni teni perna Amerika tawan teni pamjur yargiri ta yana semganala teni deshki jeme ro yore semganala nat yung kanda jemang ro gimsan te teres.
So as a wheel that is spinning at a high speed generates a great heat, so too when we are operating at such a fast and stressful pace of life, then we too generate a lot of pressure in our minds and in our lives, and as a result our happiness decreases and our mental health also diminishes as well.
Teni tenri yembati gimsantang aso tarta mambo zikateni hako yore jewe chesar tenri rek yore te yenna yang teni lagling katone sosorang kateni ngerwa chimbo tangyo mares.
This logic or this reasoning is something that an increasing number of people accept and understand. However, in terms of actually implementing it or implementing countermeasures in their lives, not everyone is necessarily doing this.
Teni ta lagling katone te changa chu te marang kateni marang kan chowa katone lagling la te tamna teni yakbo yung gore soso teni kable yang teni mepa te teni sem katola demo ki boyang yongya teni yung gore.
So what we really need to do is to be implementing, actually practicing these countermeasures in our life so that our the amount that we need to exert ourselves is lesser and so that we can be more happy.
Te maina teni ngacho ndopagang khorlotong khorne teni ngacho kable mambo jab ni teni chita teni mache zerate te tong re nyama chigla teni ngacho mambo sak ne teni chigyang longsho ki mayon ne teni rogo re chama ignin rogo re.
If we become too stuck in this constant cycle of desire, then ultimately we do this for our entire lives, but our lives are in fact extremely short. And one day, despite the fact that we've constantly been in this cycle, accumulating everything, ultimately one day our life ends and we have to go.
Di gimsen te yang chama hako yore ta yena ta mamboz ga teni ta soso chowa ga toni laglin la teni yakbo mashina gimsen hako wa chamji phanto yo mares.
Of course, most people know this. A lot of people know this logic. It's not something they don't know. However, in terms of actually putting it into practice or putting its countermeasures into practice, the number of people who do this are much less. Today in the audience, there are a lot of Tibetans. In Tibet, our economic standard of living is rather low. Coming to America, we are immersed in a society which is affluent. We see so much riches with our eyes. We see it all around us.
Ta ngaso ngama ga tini samlo ta tan rugmandu o ta nguni tangni tini tan chowa deski tang damba zera teta tini pe na ngaso gurmo mambo sokgo undu khamba chimbo chapgo nyolgo undu tini langkur zigbo nyolgo undu chik yona ni yona sam tindi tishina tini deski ngoma te terendu ma to ba ngaso ngama ngaso bona yo pi tini samlo ta tang rugmandu samni chikshina tindi ga samlo yang yong chabaris.
And maybe many people, upon arriving in America in this situation, feel that the way that we used to live in Tibet is in fact not the proper way to live. What we should be doing is really working hard to make lots of money, invest in cars and houses and that kind of thing. Many people may find themselves rejecting the way that life was led back in Tibet.
Teni te khayo mareze khame pi gemsang kang reze na nga zo bobai na ja mur gandang kang yen na teni musdang se na teni tangbo teni changbo yin bi ne kamna teni lower the how to catch teni te gormo mambo yo teni ngubo mambo teni yo sa teni zela te lepsona teni chama ga teni da chi ngubo mambo te yo na te yak bo yen sare samne teni tan chambalang ga mo chama ga sam gares.
Of course, this isn't to be blamed. You know, any kind of person, people everywhere, going from a state of relative poverty to all of a sudden having access to all kinds of unprecedented wealth, most people would believe that these are things they should pursue or that these are things that will bring happiness.
딘디그 삼로즈더니 삼바즈 용나 때 크게 문득다 있나 때 덴바레타 마리테 김슨 요레타 요 마르지나 때 김슨 요 마리 노랑 오마티 테레 마토바 나초 나마 삼로티 노라 마리즈.
While this kind of view may not be unreasonable, nevertheless we need to look at whether or not it is true. In fact, whether the idea that material accumulation will bring happiness is in fact not true, and it is not true that the way that life was led in Tibet was inferior.
Tani 합득하지 꼴모만 보셨더니 락라 용장나 tani 다 간디셰 고모코니 tani 칸바 죽보 잡게 렁코르 죽보 뇨지 템지트 나초 tani 어르부 밤줄 교보 용컨가 못도 솔라 틴지가 tani 더 하장 몽보 용거래 티 보바시보 말에 슬라이나 용건도 우스.
Of course, there are lots of people everywhere, anyone really going from a state of not having much to all of a sudden having access to a lot would think that the thing to do is buy a big house, invest in cars and pursue material accumulation.
Tejete ti samlo to tinito norware karte ti samlo ti jis sona teni nga so ngune tane nyimasila demo chipo yongi korkobza yozena te me tacho res.
However, this kind of reasoning is extremely mistaken, and if we think that pursuing this kind of approach will one day bring us happiness, we're extremely in error.
Jetete nga so teni pamjur go mare nga so choyar jinro go mare ze ti kaja mare ze to go rete yina ta hachang ti taktakla teni samlo tang ti chipo te ma to jamba chi ka ke samlo tang me ba tin chaksona teni ta nonchur ngomati tinani yongres.
Of course, again, we're not saying that we don't need to have an economic basis in lifestyle or that money is not important. However, if we solely devote our energies and efforts to making money, then we are bound never to achieve happiness.
Tindi yen sarti tini nga so perna tini ta Amerikala yongna tini ta soso tini chi khangba yen nanda langkhor yen nanda tesu yo go reta yena ha lepa tini ti
So whilst in coming to America, yes, people need a car, they need a house to live in. By focusing too excessively on these things is not good at all.
Teni ngaso popa teni ngama teni samlo te nguni tane teni ta ngaso tirim ni chachik ba ngana la ta yona te hali ba nguntung ko samlo rendoze.
Actually, our traditional Tibetan approach to these things, when looked at from the point of view of the 21st century, is in fact quite modern.
Ti gimsang karezena tini ngaso pokatini ju muruk tichu halipatin tichu samji machipazi yimbi gimsang rezena mareze. Kangrezena ngaso samlo tichu sama sarje shakchata pa chu nani yombi samlo yimbi gimsang ki tini ngaso samlo to honton resonwarez.
The reason that this traditional approach of Tibet was in fact such a progressive one was not on account of it belonging to the Tibetan people and therefore being so wonderful. It was the fact that this approach of the Tibetan people was an embodiment of the Buddhist teachings, and on this basis it was so progressive.
Teni ngaso sowa kersate Amerikalan sowa kerna teni samlo to teni ngaso teni ngama teni samlo to tithone sona.
So what would be really great is if we led our livelihoods here the American way, but kept our values and viewpoints in accordance with the traditional Tibetan approach.
ngaso pakpagam dok manjawanda ota tini chi yewa mambo shini chi gyata pota tini nafshok zeyanda ota ta tini yewa mambo re ma tokba shertang mu thamchi ko tini sim ko samluk ta so muyin sarti chama chik baris.
And this idea is not something that Tibetans alone should just pursue. It's something that's equally relevant and equally applicable to all people, regardless of what ethnicity they are or what the color of their skin is. It's an approach that is universally applicable to all humans.
Tani ngaso tani ta ngune tani tani demo ta ke boso rang la deschit yongwa ti jemsung ngumati kangrezena tani chukshi ge samlo o tan jikend ta nga ya bo chanson tan de dis nga rekend tele go mandu sambi chukshi ge samlo te rendu sing ngune tani ge deschit ke chora yongya ngumati te rendu.
Really, what the ultimate source of our happiness is knowing how to be content, knowing when it's enough, knowing when we already have what we need. This sense of contentment is really where our happiness will lie. And this, of course, was wisdom known long ago in our religious tradition.
Teni ngarang la samlo tambay na tambo teni chula lojong she pinekamna o teni chukshi zerati teni ngaso teni dewa tsama ga tsaware zi teni shayo pati ngaso la lojong she reta di kaps ngaso kare samze na ina tat ngaso chi ti chabanda ta teni ze yingi re ma to ba tsama ta ina andra sambo teni samlo ngaso yang tambo lojong she pinekamna ngarang la yang teni shong songze.
That
Ting ngaso shertang ngaso chugo nangla tini chukshi zeyati tini ngaso tini demo kyopo yongya ga tsawang mati teyin songni song yorezi. Tini ngarang rapola samlo tangna ngama lojong shipi kapsi o ta chukshi zeyati dewa tsawang yong zeyati ngaso chabanja raptu shunganja te tinjinja yingire o matokpa tsamata tinji yin sam songzi.
So the idea that contentment is the source of all happiness is something that many people, and in fact Khenpo, when he first began his studies, thought that was something that was only really applicable to, say, monks or people who were in renunciates.
Tani tarta ngaso tani taga dan zambalang ga sharshok ta nashok tani lorji mambo ta tani manam ga semkham ga tani gerwa tela tani taga samlo mambo tang tani mambo ta tani shi yondi o tang uni tani taga te rapshong da chapa kyambas ga tondag remend musla yana te rendus.
However, now looking at the situation of people everywhere, whether in the East or the West, we can see that this is a wisdom, or that this is a kind of logic that applies equally to everyone anywhere.
Tani tanga tsum dopati teza tsanzum shi gona kandi tsanzum shi go rezi na tani nga tsu gum gyab go rezi gum gyab ni tani soso go sem gana dopati teza mar chungyan rawo tani shi go rezi te gum ma gyab na nga tsu domban don yak chik pota tani shang tsar yak chik pota te yong go ma rezi.
If we're going to go about reducing our desire or keeping it in check, then we really need to engage in meditational practice. Just doing recitations alone or prostrations, etc., is really not going to help us to bring down our desire.
Tani nga tsu dana yongken terang dana yongken go boba so yin na te simla yakbon jogro chi nga tsu ta merkya pomo yin na gum de yinda manda gyab go rezi.
Everybody here tonight, I hope that you can really take this to heart. Lay people, lay members of the community need to practice meditation.
Tani ngeti nga tsu boba zini zego wi jimsen te kang rezi na nga tsu boba ga phayir la nga tsu bol la yopi nekam na gandhi zirzi na merkya pomo tsogo gum mambo gyab ka marezi.
And the reason that I address this comment especially to the Tibetans is because back home in Tibet, not many members of the lay community do engage in meditational practice.
Tani nga tsu chaba tsu ta lama tsu tani gum gyab ka re ma to pa tani gum gyab zi kita o nga tsu merkya pomo tondak mare samni nga tsu tani sam chik rezi.
A lot of people think that meditation is something that monks and lamas do, and not that it's not an activity that lay people engage in.
This
is in fact nonsense. It's completely not the case, and everybody should engage in meditation practice. Well, it's like if a lama eats food and feels full as a result, but you're not eating full. If you're not eating, then the fact that the lama is full is of no benefit to you. And similarly, if a lama is practicing meditation, then that is his thing, and the benefit is his. It's got no relation or to your own meditational practice. But of course, this isn't your fault for thinking like this. This is actually a failure of the monastic tradition and lamas to communicate this properly. This is in fact our fault. It's our shortcoming. We haven't told you that you need to practice. We haven't instructed you to meditate.
Tenita gomjab gojenda nyamlin she goanda so hamagona te kayo mareze o tamacha pomo go samare doso samalama so lekin sare ngacho da go samare samna tendi samna te kakmanduzi so kayo mare.
So for this reason, you're not to be blamed for feeling that you don't need to meditate or that meditational practice is not something that lay people should engage in.
Rite tati tarnga kang yinda yin ta panchudni ngazo samara te girchu jamni teni kyoso yindamala gomjob lojong yakboji teni lojongji ngazo nangba teni tawa tang shopa ta gomba nsola lojong yakboji gom yakbo gyobzi kyoso.
However, this is how things have been in the past. Now, at this point, we really need to reform the way things are, and from this point on, everybody needs to study the Dharma and engage in practice.
다 된자와서 그때는 가서 야근 나라양 때니 때 추냠린 시비네 금나 지때니 분초야 한다오다 지때니 또 소란담네 때니다 든지나 마토바 곰 머겸 kan 그때니 추바양 인큰 때니 지때 곰야 머겸 그때니 망보요레 대양 저거마리 곰잡고레 때니 로종시 고레 곰잡고레스.
And this advice also applies to, say, Chinese people who also don't engage in meditational practice, just making offerings, incense offerings, supplications to deities, etc. Everyone needs to engage in meditation.
Tini nafshukla nga halipa charji yo marezing hame charji meta yinang par nyanna parchir tini nafshukko maso tini tawata tini chula tini chu lojong shejinda nyamlin gomgyab jinda teso gabo yorezi tini zegendu tini nape yagbore tini gorezi.
And I don't have an excellent familiarity with the situation in the West, but I've been told that Westerners do engage in study of the Dharma and do like to engage in meditational practice. This is very good.
That tendishini ngaso to gum gyamne soso undo patela te chanjim shejit tini ngaso ta demo tang ke bo yongya ga tini chowa ga nala ngaso nambi chu tini ka dinyams lenzina te nyamlin sheser ga thabshik chikte teres.
So by doing meditational practice is one way that we can work on reducing or keeping our desires in check so that our lives increase in happiness.
Tani thabshik ni pate kang rezina tani ngaso tani ta chowa ga nala namgin tani ta janla panthoya ga samlo tela tan namgin ngaso samlo tonggo res.
And the second way that we can increase in happiness in our lives is by really working on engendering the altruistic mind to be of benefit to others. Actually, in terms of this, Tibetans are quite good. Simchen
tamche pola teni to teni jampang le kale go re jampang samlo tang go reze ni teni shanna teni pobazi na chama o te go re zenken zu ma to ba to gandi go re ngete go jimchen chereze teni zenken yo mares.
When I say that Tibetans are quite good in this respect, I mean it insofar as, for example, tonight, if I talk about the need to be of benefit to other people, the need to be of benefit to other beings, there would be no one among the Tibetans who would question why this was necessary or, question whether or not this was a sound approach.
파마단 뜻소 과정레스.
And the fact that there is such widespread acceptance of the need of this approach in the Tibetan community is due to the kindness of our parents, of our culture, and our lamas.
당아서 김성 것도네 르피 종르 것도네 가서도 고그레 잔라 판바 체고레 잔라 판바 레카 레고레 삼로 땅고레 땡아서 켈랭그리타 옛날 동고 우보 라랭 것도네 양아서 알디야볼 대지 용고 요메 참마요레스.
However, whilst there is widespread acceptance of the principle of needing to be of benefit to others, whether in fact in actual practice people do this is something that there may be a greater discrepancy in respect of.
근데 인디티니 다 판청가 주직도 디토라 삼로 땅니 참마 되니 잔라 판바가 되니 직되니 다 삼로 땅야 잔라 판바가 레카레야 잔라 판바가 까자샤야
So from this point onwards, everybody should really work towards being of benefit to others in terms of everything they do, from the thoughts that they harbour in their minds to the words that they speak and the actions that they undertake with their bodies. And this is advice that applies again equally to everyone, regardless of whether they're Tibetan, Chinese, or Western. However, in this respect, we do have a mistaken view.
Jang tondagla tini samlo maptang leka male rang deya tang keya ga leka te lena tani rang demo tang kepo yongre samne tindi ti samlo changmala yores.
The mistaken view is that we are so self-oriented, always working for our own best interests or our own happiness, feeling that in the belief that by working for these things that our own happiness will be generated.
Tani chabarda ngazo tangsang tani zambolong ka nabal shok layangri, shar shok layangri, lobjag nang ka tani te lobso to so nang la, ta ti pe na rang tani gormo yina rang mawa te rang tani thobya ta, tani chi shawaz lekaz lena tani shawa yakpo ta rang thobya ta, tinji ga thola samlo tang tinji ga thola thapshi tani shelu tani rigpa shir tani tak tak lob go yoreze tani lobta so nang la.
And a large reason for this is the kind of education that is delivered in schools these days, which teaches people to pursue knowledge and other things, their careers, etc., all for their own interests.
Tani example angla tani to shikin chimbo yongkhen ko tani pe na chapter ko tone jarko so zhenzhen ja boda tani hwanjur ko tone tani chi to tan zambalang ko tani to tobdun ko chongba ngabja ze yan rawo tani shije 500强 tani rawo ta tani chi to ta charig ba da to sangma tani zambalang la shikin chimbo yongkhen to so lobdan to so na ne yong ko yores.
In the world today, the most influential and powerful people in political realms, economic realms, the richest, the 500 richest people, etc., are all graduates of higher institutions of education.
Tani lobdan to so na ni tani jampam ko tani samlo to tani to loso yakbo jab kapshok yakbo ma shina tani mot so lobdan na ni thon charu ni kamna hale pa nipa chepo yore tani korang rigpa chabo chammo tenji yore rete memambozala jampang ko sambate yomaris.
But the education that they have received in these institutions means that even though they are extremely intelligent, when they graduate, unfortunately, they don't have a particularly strong altruistic mind of benefiting others.
Tanita jampang ko tani samlo te chi yongkhen da to so changma to tani to ta nipa chik menken zambalang ko thola tani shikin menken ta tenri ko ra te renjo yoris.
And will become a situation where, in fact, those people who do, in fact, have a mind to benefit others are those who are the less powerful or those of lower status in society.
Tani zambalangla shikin chepo tem zambalang kalu gir tani zambalangla wang gir tani shegen dengken taso tani lobjaga na ne yong tani lobjaga na la jampang ke tani loso me tani ri chati tani nga chon zambalang thamche po tani jan la samlo motang kan so ger la samlo tang kan rang la samlo tang kan tak tak ren do re.
And as a result of this, people who do go to good schools and go through the education system, as a result of not receiving proper education in altruistically benefiting others, become people who think of nothing but themselves and serving their own selfish interests.
Tani tendriga samlo ta mepi gimsenji tani nga cho tar nga yin na zambalong ka thola tani chin amang thik ramra mambo yone tani the chagol pe mambo tani she charre ta maumba na tani mayong se gona pe kharbores.
And it's precisely because there is this lack of an altruistic mindset and a very selfish set of values that prevails that we have a situation in the world today with so many wars and disasters taking place, and it's very difficult to see this situation becoming better in the future.
Tani zambalong ka tani thola tani nirshuk la yin na tani nirshuk chi yarji ta nguntun ta chi samlo ta kanga thone yin na nguntun re charwan da so yin na lorji ka thola ta yung na tani tani ka jampang ka samlo ta mepi gimsenji tani ramnyim mayin ba ta tani ka lehka pe digbo tani kyoshu mambo lein da wazi.
So we can see that in the history of Western countries, which are today very economically ascendant, etc., that in the course of their histories, all kinds of actions have been undertaken which contravened equality and were not in the interests of others.
Tani tarong yang tani maong ba na ta nga chu tindi che ga mare ze go na pe khabore tarong yang tindi yongwa ga nyin ka yores.
And to say, well, from this point we're not going to do that any further is extremely difficult. It's entirely likely that this behavior will continue.
Tindi yendi tani jampang ko samlo ze ra te tani nga chon zambalang la tani nguni tani ga demo che po yongya ga sawang umati tere te na te nga chu sangma ga tani ta ta thomar ha ko go res.
So it's extremely important that everybody realizes that having the mind to benefit others is in fact a primary cause of happiness.
Tani ha ko wa chamji tani chokoyo mare tani nga chu nyamlin she go re laglin she go res.
And knowing it is not enough. Having understood it, we really need to put it into practice.
Tani laglen che na tani ta gandhi che go re je na nga chu tari kong do sha pi ndopa chunjun she ya te la tani nga chu nangba ga nang la tani ngimjung gomba je tani gomba tin ri yore te gom go re te so gom jam na tani yak bo yong go re laglen yak bo yong go res.
So in order to do this, we need to work on reducing our desires, and in order to do this, we can meditate on cultivating renunciation.
Teni ni pati teni nga cho teni ta shamdang nyangji teni gomsar teni nga cho nangba ga teni thakpa chimbu chu na la sham nyangji gomba ra ota shangship ko sem gomsar teni ga teni ta gom nyamling teni she ya teni pe mambo yore teni ta so te changma ga nyamling she to mo to ta go re.
And in addition to meditation on renunciation, in the Buddhist tradition there are also numerous meditation methods on loving kindness and compassion, and these are methods and styles of meditation that everybody would be urged to learn.
Teni yendi teni so to ti thola san lo tani nyamlin te chu she thamna tani so chin di thola yang ke bo yong gre che shema la yang ke bo yong gre.
And if everyone were able to engage in these practices, then not only would they achieve really some real happiness in this lifetime, they would also be sowing the seeds for happiness in future lifetimes.
Tani mat sangma ga so rang ga tini ta te zu tini che to jala phan thok che ga tini je pamjun ra tini ga ni pa yo na tani pamjur ko thone jala tini to phan thok pa tini gorwo yin na tani che tini jobo tini gandhi yin na tini tsola tini phan te zu to ya la thola dang jab go re gormo mambo me na kyong ga mari te zu nyong le me na ta te yin na tini so samba chon ya re te pe yabu yo re.
And in addition to this, if people have the financial capacity to do so, then acting to benefit others in the society, people in poverty, etc., is a wonderful thing to do. Of course, one doesn't need to be rich to be able to do this. One can exercise this generosity in accordance with one's situation.
Tani karti tani sosola tani pamjur ko thoni tani ta jichimboz mena takashi se ko ta ngata pamjur yo mare nge jampang le ka le thap ko mare samna te mare ze jampang le ka le azi kiti pamjur yo na pamjur ko le na chokore karti pamjur mena tani soso ko tani jampang le ka le na gansa kangla ya na tani lesser mampu yores.
Some people might think that if they don't have money, then they can't do actions that are of benefit to others, but this is absolutely not the case. In addition to being able to benefit people in economic ways, there are a myriad other kinds of ways that we can be of benefit to others.
Tani sheptang nga so nangba ga tinin to nangla yena nangba sanji pa ga nangla yena paru to shimba drigze ni ju jimba jin ya ta to so thola tini shaki kha ga mangbu su shay yores.
In the Buddhist tradition, among Buddhists, we talk a lot, we give a lot of lip service to the importance of generosity in the 6 perfections.
Yena dong thoni te nga so ngoni te pe na yishi chulung ra on so na te ni pe yabo te ni to shiso ko te ni to so la phamba de ya ta shipang ge le ka te ni ko so mambo ngama yang mambo lendu tarta yang te ni mambo lendu tin ra wo te ni nga so te ni rigbi zon le ko thoni mambo she yore ta yinda te ni to lagling ko thoni mambo te ni to le che te nyong ra bores.
However, despite the amount that we go on about the importance of generosity, we have not necessarily put it in practice to the same extent that other religious traditions have, such as the Christian tradition, which has engaged in beneficial work for others in society in history, and it continues to do so today.
Ta ngarang rang de tini demo ta chepo yong ya ga samlo ta ne tindi shedan na ngarang demo yong sambi samlo tin norware tani ngune ta ni rang demo chepo yong ya te gare zena ta jian namla tini demo chepo yong ya te nge kanti she go ze nge jampan ta kanti drab go samji samlo to nam tindi samlo zo yong la tani so rang tini demo chepo ngo te tini tsbares.
Often we think that our own happiness, that happiness is going to be fulfilled when we are able to fulfill the things that we think will bring our own happiness. In actual fact, the true cause of happiness is when we start to concern ourselves for the happiness of others.
Tenti yendi teni ti thola ta so teni gum nyamlen teni yakpo che tenti yona te karchim bore na te na so teni ta tela teni semna lan jang go re rete yena nga so gum jawya te 당보 같은 로종 제거래 마도 바 로종 마시나 되니 곰 간디 잡고 그래 되니 정말 로종 제거 그래.
So meditating, engaging in meditational practice will be of great benefit to us. But before we do this, of course, we need to study and learn about what we're meditating on and why we need to do it.
되니 가서 때랑다나 요파 같으니 보바 양만 보스 되니 보바 졸랑가 묵서 그 돈덕 숨샤지요스.
So tonight there are a lot of Tibetans in the audience, and I would like to raise 3 points in respect of you.
Teni 돈 보바 마인나 시당 미 롱바가나라 댕킹 그 머르스기나 스이나 라포리 보바치포 마인나 잠바양 텐디 고그레스.
Of course, these points are not just relevant to Tibetans, they're relevant to anybody here in the audience.
Teni tondak simtinane tondak tamboda kangrezena pena ngaso bobandaina ranga teni sane teni thunne mi longba pena America tawazla dingnanda Europe tawazla dingnanda yana sacha jambazla dingnanda gangdang kanglan dingnanda ndorna ranga phayerne yongni mi sacha la denking go tindi go moz yin charti yinda manda tondak simdela teni taw samlo tang go res.
So the first point pertains to or relates to Tibetans who have arrived in another place, like here in America or in Europe, but also to anyone who finds themselves leaving their original place, their homeland, and living in another place.
Teni tonda tambod kangrezina teni ngaso America la yonanda sacha jambaz la yonanda gangna yonanda tini sacha tela yopi tini chumdang tini sacha tela yopi rigni dang tini sacha tela yopi tini to lichtur da tsola lichtur dang tsola tini to zunjok yang tak ba tini to che go re yang tak ba chung go re ze perna chum yak bo chung je da tini so so gon tini perna lichtur ka de kang yo na tso lichtur to so tini to yak bo tini she ne tela zunjok yak bo she je te go re.
The first point is that the importance of respecting the laws, cultural practices, and traditions of the society we newly find ourselves in.
Pena America tawlo na mo karbo yang tu mo nakbo yang tu tini te pena so la rigne mo karbo rigne na mo nakbo rigne na mo serbo ngasong ra otela mo serbo zegere mo serbo rigne na ja rigni kangdang kang na ja tini tapa yang tini te America te tapa jada manjang yore tini na khorang chu chul tapa kang shinken zegena ti tapa te chola zunjok yak bo che go gres ko chu zunjok yak bo che go gres.
We need to be able to exercise respect to the different cultures and cultural backgrounds of everyone in America, those cultural practices of white populations, black populations, yellow populations like ourselves.
Teni soso teni te lichtur kandang ko na tesola zunjok ya bo shi ji dang teni pena Tana teni sangja yen nanja, gandang kang shone yen na teni ta sacha te tang thumbu yakbo su she go re ma to sacha te tang monthon ba ta mo te tang monthon ba teni chang she na teni reg ma re.
And in addition to having respect, for example, for different religious backgrounds in society, we also need to respect the different customs and practices that are prevalent in society. This is the first point I'd like to make.
Teni tonda nipala teni ta mo rgni la teni sunjuk she go re te inna rang rgni ti inda manda teni ta tambu zone teni ta mar manyam ba ta teni ta ginzn yak bo she go res.
The second point is, while respecting the tradition of the new culture that we find ourselves living in, at the same time we need to ensure that we protect and maintain our own cultural traditions.
Di indi teni nga zo teni perna teni to bu chong chong cho yenna inji shi go re te halipa karchim bo re te tang nyam de teni nga zo so teni ka tang yi te yenda man da shi go res.
So in respect of young children, whilst learning English is of course something that they need to do, at the same time they absolutely need to know and have proficiency in their own native language.
Teni pugu chong chong chola porko lob gona teni nga chola kangri orezi na kangri orezi ta teni lob taga na la je pop paga teni porko jang sa lob tanda teni me teni yang sa ti so lob gona teni to kabli orezi.
Whether young children in American society find it difficult to learn Tibetan, well, of course, yes, there are challenges. Challenges, for example, having to go to schools, American schools, where the predominant language is English.
Kabli kanti yona ti thola teni so teni ta kabli ti so par kangar ti so par khat sanni yinda manda teni ta katang yigi teni yakbo shiba tang teni po ko rigni ti teni ta lichtur ti so re ta samlo ti so sem kana la yakbo shinkan teni zi yong go res.
However, notwithstanding the challenges that exist, it's important that they be absolutely surmounted and that young Tibetans learn the Tibetan language and also the Tibetan cultural tradition.
Teni te nge boba kyangpo se men se ngarang la samlo tana nga murig ranglik pas mare se teni pena boba yenari yayenari nashok pas na so rang la rigni ramda yore thama murig se na res.
In saying this, I'm not being an ethnic chauvinist, a nationalist, saying that this is the case for Tibetans alone. This is in fact a logic or a reasoning that applies equally to everyone.
Teni chabarta teni nga cho teni to bok teni to ti rigni to chu to nangba ga teni samlo ren do se teni nangba ga samlo yin charti teni mo jan la teni chu to 판토양자다 머잔라 노파 마시 반자오다 든지 그르네 티나라 식친 요리 더이나 정말라 판토거레네 든디 디 인다만다 든이 르네도 랑그르네도 많이 바시고 그래서
The importance, in particular to the Tibetan cultural tradition, stems from the fact that it is an embodiment of the Buddhist teachings, which are about benefiting others and not harming others. Thus, their particular importance to humanity.
This
is a responsibility that parents really need to take on. And this is my second point. The third point is that in our new place that we live, we need to use some of the wealth that we generate to benefit people in the immediate society in which we're living.
nyongyong le mena yang kantar nga chu tini soso samba tini choya chet tani to ta shusoko nga chu gele tsha tani chopan zena fuli tso na la yang ni yindaman da jiggo nga chu yang ti shusoko le ka ti na la chama jiggo res.
American society is, after all, not just comprised of people who are wealthy. There are lots of poor people, so it's very important that we engage in work that supports charitable and welfare institutions, of course not necessarily in an extremely lavish way, but in accordance with our own means and capabilities.
Teni tele jamba terang ngacho ta terang kan chat ta teni teni samjog ji yen teni sama ga yapon nyan song ji ches